I'm Cardell Sims, reentry consultant, motivational speaker, author, founder, owner of On the Inside Reentry Academy. I've been to prison 5 times, county jails 4 times. Same type of lifestyle I live. Grew up in a poverty neighborhood. My mom was on crack. Father wasn't nowhere around.
Yeah, right now we're in Chicago, Illinois at Cook County Division 11, speaking to the participants at the Cook County Jail. We got entrepreneurship workshop, we got vision board, we got goal setting, we got parenthood, all led by formerly incarcerated individuals. It's about 8 or 9 of us here on today, so we're here to make impact and also to be able to inspire the men upon their release, they can be successful as well.
This is actually for my vision when I got out of prison, to come back and give people the game, like how to be successful. And it's really all about having a vision. That's what I do in the workshop. Talk about having a vision for yourself, creating vision boards, how to set the goals to accomplish the vision. First time you get incarcerated, you should be preparing for your release. What's the vision I got for my family? What's the vision I got to be a career? All the times I was running in and out of prison, I ain't have a vision for myself. The only vision I seen was me going back to the block, hustling, selling crack, and I'm right back locked up. So the only time I came out of prison with a vision and prepared with an actual plan, I ain't never been back. The participants can't say, oh, you don't know what it's like. Like, yeah, I know what it's like. We can relate more. So that's my whole 2 goals, was bring hope for those on the inside and showcase the talent of successful formerly incarcerated educators.
Hey everyone, Corporate Convict. I just released my book. I'm so proud of it. It's a great read, everyone. It shows how I navigated corporate America and moved to 6 figures in less than 5 years. It actually only took me 4. And I started with a GED. What? Yeah, with a GED, within 5 years, I was at 6 figures within corporate America. And I can show you how to do it. So go get the book. It's an undeniable cover. I have it on Audible, Ingram Spark, Amazon, the biggest mall in the world. Go out there and get my book, you all, and leave a comment, leave a rating. I want to know what you thought about it.
The re-entry journey. What would be one word to describe this journey?
Heartache.
Enriching.
Gratitude.
Unapologeticness.
Hope.
Elevating. Passion.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Determination.
Intention.
My word is compassion. Rebirth.
Intentional.
It's bigger than just walking down your probation and parole. It's changing your mindset, lifestyle, and never returning to prison again. It's the re-entry journey with Cardell Sims.
All right, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. We back with another episode of the Reentry Journey. I am your host, Cardell Sims. And today our guest, man, I met our guest. We've been messaging back and forth. We got on a few calls and find out we in the same state. He just on the one side of the state. I'm on the other side of the state. I'm like, oh, it's most definitely that we get together, man, and we do some work. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the introduction of our guest. Our guest at 18 years old got sentenced to 20 years in prison. He came home after 10 years and was only out for a year before being incarcerated again by guilty by association. We talking about that too, how we both been got sent back for association. And on that violation did 2 more years, and he read his first mindset book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. From there, he took a computer course inside and taught himself how to type and came home to college. He completed a master's degree in technology and was making 6 figures while on parole. His mom passed 2 years ago, and her last words were to him to take care of her boys. And he created his company, WTF, What's the Formula? Mentoring Academy, and created his first 3 books. Now his goal was to impact. Now listen to this. His goal was to impact the lives of 1 billion, not a million, not 1,000, 1 billion people with his story and his success formula, beginning with their belief system. Welcome to the re-entry journey. Big Coach E, what's happening?
What's good, my guy?
Hey man, I almost don't feel worthy of that intro, man. That was
Oh
fire.
man, the work, man, the work you do, it makes you worthy. The
I
changes
appreciate it.
that you made you worthy. The commitment, the consistency. I always tell people, man, two things you got to do in this thing. You're gonna have to be committed, and you're gonna have to get up and do it over and over and over and over. When they want you
Yes.
to do it for free, when they want to pay you the bag, when you don't feel like it, and when you feel like it, you got to do that. That's the only way you're gonna see the results. So, man, first of all, I want to say welcome to the reentry journey. Secondly, I want to say thank you for the work that you do. So go ahead and let the people know, get the people your story.
Man, hey, first of all, I want to give you your flowers, bro, for being that stand-up type of guy, man, that's out here helping people and helping voices be heard through your podcast, bro. So salute you for what you do, man, and how you're helping the people with this reentry thing, because it's hard, man, coming out of those walls, especially after doing a long time, because the world passes you by. Now, if you all think about a whole decade, I mean, that's 10 years. So when I went in, we were looking at pagers. When everybody got a cell phone. It wasn't no internet in 1994.
Nuh-uh.
So I get out and it's computers in every household. Everybody got a lap. I'm like, and being incarcerated, they don't have no new technology. They didn't then.
Hey, they had the you was in there with the radio and the box squares and the Walkman. When you got
Yeah,
out, they had the Discman, the flat screens, and everything else.
man. We still had cassette tapes. Hey, we recorded cassette tapes for our Walkman for the yard. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
man.
because should we say you said you went in then? Because I know when I went in, it was I still had cassette tapes when I was coming out of prison
Yeah,
in like '07. The first time I went to prison in '07, when I came home, I had them cassette tapes. I had so and
bro.
they was
I had
still
a whole
booming on the
shoebox
inside.
of them. I came home with a shoebox full of cassette tapes. Didn't nobody have a cassette player?
Man.
Everybody playing CDs. I'm like, man, what in the world? My music, I'm trying to record my cassettes onto CDs because I want to keep my music like it was. It was crazy, man. But
Man.
this reentry thing was difficult because I went in at 18 and got out at 28. And so pretty much all my 20s was, and man, for people who do that much time, what's that word they call it? You're institutionalized.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That is a fact. And I was institutionalized. I was in denial, as most people getting out are in denial. I'm good. I know how to adjust. Bro, I was institutionalized. I was still waking up for count. Sitting up in the bed, and my lady at the time looking like, why you sitting up at 4 a.m? I'm
You
like,
up early.
it's count time. Like I'm ready to make some coffee and get me some Little Debbie's, some
they finna
dumpster
hit
sticks or something.
they about to bust the door open for chow.
Hey, and I came home and I humbled myself and got me a job. For those that are in the St. Louis area, I was at Titan Tube. And trust me, this is a prison job. Everybody in there are inmates or on house arrest, working out of the halfway house. So this whole environment that I'm working in, make a minimum wage, hands hurting every day. And man, it was rough. And I'm like, dang. So then when I come home in June, my son was born in November. Now do the math on that. I'll wait because that don't even make sense.
Yeah, I'm about in June and November now.
5 months. So
Yeah,
check out what happened. He was born 1 pound 5 ounces. He was 12 inches long. He was a preemie.
Right.
And so now after me getting out on house arrest, me and his mom going through it, the job is horrible. I'm still trying to adjust to even driving a vehicle, bro. Like it was weird. Like things were different. Things were moving so fast. Because if in prison, things are slowed down.
Exactly. I mean,
ain't nobody moving fast. And if they are moving fast, you looking like, what's going on?
Going down. What's going down?
So now I'm in the world where things are zooming. And a lot of people that do this reentry,
thing that get out of it, being incarcerated, they go through this, and we suffer in silence, man. As men and women, we so proud that we don't want to tell people, man, this is different. This is a struggle. And I was one of them proud, beat my chest, I don't need no help, type of thing. But what I tell everybody that's getting out, man, is you got to have a support system. You got to have somebody that you can talk to and get out of that tough guy, tough female. I got to be hard, because that's what you have to be in prison. But when you come home, you don't have to be hard. I mean, I remember being in the bank, waiting in line, and the dude kind of bumped me, and I'm ready to rock him. Like, bro, what? He ain't say excuse me or nothing. So I checked, like, bro, you ain't gonna say excuse me. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was, we on edge when we get out after a long time, man. And it was a huge transition. And one of the mistakes that I made was I never started selling drugs or getting back into the life. I said I wasn't never going to do that, especially with a newborn baby boy. That's my namesake. That's my junior. Now he going through surgeries and heart, lung surgeries and stuff. And he was in the hospital from November to February.
Oh, most
like
definitely.
In an incubator. And I mean, like, bro, I'm up there every day.
That's crazy. The more you share your story, and the more I see similarities, because my oldest daughter, she was born premature. She was born 2 pounds 2 ounces. And she had babies in there. I had to visit. We was at the hospital for about 3 or 4 months. She was in the incubator.
Man.
Yeah.
And you realize how vulnerable you are when you got your baby boy. Like, man, I got 2 biological kids. My daughter was born in January 95. I was locked up December 94. Her whole first 10 years of her life, I was in prison. And she would come up and visit me, with her mom and my mom's and all that. So all she knew was her dad being a convict. Now, as soon as I get out, boom, I pop another one. Because you know how we are when we get out, we're safe.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, look. You know what's about to happen.
Most definitely.
So, yeah, man. And so now I'm struggling with my son, trying to keep him alive, bro, by breathing into him and really pumping him up and taking care of my daughter, because that's another thing, man. Like, when I came home, my daughter's mother, may she rest in peace, she passed from cancer. But
man, that's another similarity we got. The daughter I'm just telling you about that was born premature, her mom passed as well.
Wow, man. Both of my kids' mothers passed from cancer. My mama passed from cancer. Like, it's a nasty thing, man. So shout out to all the cancer survivors out there and the ones that are fighting that fight. And I'm fighting it with you. And I got a book coming out. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I got a book coming out called How Not to Think and Grow Sick. Because a lot of times we will think ourselves into sickness. They call it EII, and that's emotionally induced illnesses. And 3 out of 4 hospital beds are filled with people who are emotionally inducing the illness.
The illness.
Right. So much of it is psychological and mental that our brains are so powerful. So the book is designed to really give you 12 areas of focus that will allow you to become healthier by not thinking yourself being sick. But man, cancer is a nasty thing, man. But my daughter's mother dropped her off on my porch with a bag, a grocery bag of clothes. She said, I did the first 10 years, you can do the rest. Now, I'm on house arrest.
Fresh out.
I got a daughter, a 10-year-old daughter who's starting to become a young lady. Now I got a baby in the hospital. And I'm like, man, what the hell? I'm like, what's the formula?
What's the formula? Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
job horrible. And then, man, it's just a lot of different things that happen, man. And what my biggest mistake, because I endured that and I pushed through it. And I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. But I didn't have any new friends. All my new friends were either convicts or people I knew from back in the day. I didn't know no new friends, and people getting out, we not quick to get new friends.
Exactly. That's one of the hardest things there is. You'd rather be alone than try to find some new friends.
Yes, and we suffer in silence, but we got these friends that are so happy to see us out that, man, I got guys coming trying to pass me packs and all type of stuff. And I'm like, bro, I ain't on that no more. So, but I'm still kicking it with them. I'm still hanging with them. And that's what led me back for those 22 months was just I'm in the passenger seat sleep. Like I'm sleep from the night before partying, and we get flagged. And he said, I don't know who stuff that is. And I'm like, what?
Oh, no.
Bro, what? So me being on parole, this is August of 2005. Me being on parole, they easily sent me back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm easy conviction.
Especially back then. What people don't understand, people that's new to reentry or new to the system and here in the last 10 years, they don't understand. What no reentry ain't what like it was now back then. Wow, that was a straight trip to jail. Ain't no ands, if, or buts, or not.
We ain't pass and go. We not collecting $200.
Send him to Fulton. Put him on the bus. Go to workhouse, Fulton.
Yeah. Hey, so again, they sent me back for 22 months, man. And here's what did it for me. And I'm gonna bring it back to the streets, but in those 22 months, it clicked. Because that first 10, I was so institutionalized that, man, it wasn't as bad as it could have been for me. Like, it may be bad for others, but I was gelling. I was used to it. Like, I know how to, you know how it is. You know how to get around and make the best of the worst.
We had the routine.
But when I got out and I tasted some freedom, man, when I went back, them 22 months was worse than them 10 years.
You was in there sick.
I'm sick as a dog. I'm like, man, what in the world? I can't believe it. I'm looking around at these fools jumping over rails, climbing up the stairs. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in a zoo. I don't belong up in here. So what I did was because I was in Crossroads, my cellie had a life sentence. Because I'm a parole violator on a 20-year bid. So they put me in level 5.
In level 5.
By you. But then they rolled me to Tipton after they gave me a date. So when I get to Tipton, now I get into the computer program because I remember when I came home for that 1 year, I was like, man, computers are everywhere. Phones and technology is going crazy. And I was always a smart kid, whereas I was good at math. And they said that if you're good at math, you can be good at technology because it takes that type of brain. So anybody out there listening to this, if you like numbers and you trying to figure out your career, look in the technology world because they don't care about you being a felon. You will get a job if you good. I promise you that. So yeah, man, I taught myself how to type with the Mavis beacon typing. You seeing your hands on the screen, and I'm like, man, I'm doing, like now, bro. If you see me, I'm doing this now. I'm rolling. I'm good at now, but I taught myself when I was in there because I had a vision, and my vision is in my book, Corporate Convict. For anybody out there, it's on Amazon. Go out there and check it out. You'll see the cover with the bars and this guy in the suit holding the bars. But what happened was, they asked me, they said, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know how they always ask you that stuff when you're on your way home. I hate them type of things. But anyway, they do it. And I told them this. I said, I see myself walking into my office in a suit, carrying a briefcase, telling my administrative assistant to hold all calls. Man, everybody laughed at me, staff, inmates. Everybody's like, fool, you crazy. Ain't no way. At the time, I got a GED from 1992 that I got in Camp Avery.
Oh, yeah.
They laughed at me, bro, but I was so determined, and I started going to the library. And that's when I came across Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that book changed my whole mentality of money because I grew up in poverty. I could write a book on poverty and how to hustle and how to that. I mastered that game. But now how do I, not work myself to death and really, do something with my life, man? So when I enrolled while I was incarcerated. So anybody that's watching this that's still incarcerated, you can get your FOSFA file while you're inside there. Find you a college local to you. They got a bunch of them online. do that in the library right now, because you can do it. They have the programs. You got to ask and step out of your comfort zone. And don't worry about you ain't been to college. Their job is to teach you. And that's what I did when I went to college. I got out in June again in 2007, and I was enrolled in September of 2007.
Okay.
Do the math on that.
So you went right into it.
Man, I had all my
No
pen, my student, everything was filled out while I was in the joint. I already knew I was going to college. I said, and at the time, my son's mother, she didn't believe me. She said, "Oh, you know how it is when people get out of prison. They got to eat big old, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that." We all do it. Be honest. We all do. We have great.
I did it several times.
Right. And that's great. And what I did was, man, I went hard at it. I'm talking about I didn't do no kicking it. None of my partners that I used to have, maybe 3 or 4, but they wasn't on nothing. Like, I cut everybody off, and they like, man, this dude is MIA. They didn't know if I was out or in. It wasn't no party when I came home that second time like it was the first time. I ain't
all
no
business.
Party. Yeah, it was all about business, bro. And I went to school. I said, I'm going to get my associate's degree. And I went for 2 years and got straight A's. Bro, straight A's. I said, I got this with a GED. I'm the oldest one in the class. and I'm the slowest one in the class because I don't know half the stuff they talking about. Right, but I said, you know what?
The most determined.
Man, I came in early and left late. I damn near lived at that school, bro. That was my hangout spot. And guess what I did? I created new friends.
Right.
Like now I got friends that are in the similar path. Because before, remember, all my friends was from the hood or from the joint. They were the only two. I ain't have no squares, as we call them. I ain't have no L7s. I didn't have no friends like that, man. And now I'm hanging out with these guys and these chicks, and they're cool, but I'm not telling nobody about my past. I shaved my beard. I used to have braids. I cut my hair, shaved my beard, put on glasses. I'm all squared up. I said, nope, I'm looking the part, because that's one of the keys that I tell everybody. If you want to change your career, you need to go look at your career and ask yourself, do you look like what your career looks like? Because if you don't dress like them, you're not going to fit in. So holding on to that, I want to express myself. Okay, do that. You're going to struggle. You might get lucky. I ain't saying what you can't do. I'm saying what I did was I adjusted my whole image. Like even the shows I was watching on TV, and like everything adjusted to the career that I wanted. And man, I was with corporate, man.
I'm glad you said that, because you just made a valid point, because it's something that I always tell people who ask me, or even those in my class, like when you making this change, like you got to change everything about you.
Yes.
Like if you can't have nothing that you used to do, like you can't, that ain't from your friends to your attitude. If you was abusing women and stuff back then, you have to cut that out too. You're going to have to change that. Like you're going to have to change your whole, you basically making a 180. The stuff that you used to do that wasn't right. You got to change it all. It ain't
without a doubt, bro. And my change started in the joint though. So I'm telling people that's not even out yet, start changing in the joint.
Oh yeah.
Start reading the books while you still got time. Start writing your book while you got that time. Because you got all that time when you locked up, you ain't got nothing to do but hit the yard, hit the library, start adjusting. Because now, once you start hanging out in the library, you're going to meet other people like yourself that's on some good stuff, instead of them cats on the yard trying to hoop or work out, smoke a J or something like that, just all about the get the gab, talking crap. That ain't going to get you nothing. Get in them books. Them books is what's going to help start the process of changing, adjusting your programming, because prison will program you, bro. Poverty will program you without a doubt. But the beauty of humans is that we can reprogram ourselves. We don't have to be stuck on stupid. we can shift that. If you truly want it, you can adjust that. But you still gonna run into obstacles. I ran it, man. I can give you a list of things that I dealt with, even when I was on the right path. It was coming at me now. My wife at the time, my son's mother, you ain't spending enough time at home. I'm like, but I'm spending time at the college. Like, what are you talking about? I'm working 2 part-time jobs and going to school full-time. And I'm like, but she complaining because I ain't at home enough. So now I got issues at home because I'm doing what's right. But bro, here's something I'm gonna tell everyone, and this might not come across right. I had to be selfish. I had to be self-focused. I said, no matter what, baby mama, kids, friends, my mama, nobody came before me getting myself right. Because here's what I thought. If I ain't right, I can't help them with nothing. So I had to sacrifice spending time with my son, with my daughter, with my wife, with my moms, with my brother. I sacrificed that because I saw the vision. I knew where I was going. I was going to be that 6-figure guy, and nothing was going to stop me, not even a Christmas or Easter or New Year's or birthday or none of that. I missed all that for about 3-4 years, bro. And I can't get that back. But it was worth the sacrifice today. I ended up divorced. But hey, and I was on child support. I had to take her to court. Like, man, I went through all the baby mama drama and all that. I mean, I went through it, bro. My daughter was becoming a young lady. She took me through it. You know, me and her getting into it because she trying to mess with boys at 13, 14 years old. And, you know, we strict, man. I was a tough dad with my daughter. Man, that's my sweetheart, man. That's my baby girl. And we good today. But when I came home, she got the rough E. She got the institutionalized E. Yeah, my son don't know that guy. My son, you know, he was too much of a baby while I was going through this. So he don't get that part. And he didn't know that I was ever locked up till he was about 10, 11 years old. Because I kept it. I didn't wear that on my back, on my sleeve, bro. Like a badge, like, yeah, I did so much time in the penitentiary. I'm gangster. Man, you a fool for saying some dumb stuff like that, man. Like, come on, bro.
A plum fool. Plum fool. I tell my stuff that I was a plum fool.
Plum fool.
Position to do all that time that I had to do. Kept running back, just a plum fool. And ain't nothing to glorify about it.
Sure ain't. And a lot of people that were my friends in college to this day, bro, they don't know my past. I never told them. Like I never told. All I told them was that I was in factories for all my life and I was making a career change, and that's why I was coming to college. That was my speech, and it was true because prison truly is a factory.
Yeah, I about to say you was in the factory,
right? Thank you.
You was in the factory,
right?
Most definitely.
But yeah, man. And then so when I came home and I was doing the college thing, some of the people in the St. Louis area have heard of the Rios, and that was a reentry program for offenders that were just coming home, and it was a 3-day boot camp that they were stipulated and mandatory to go through coming straight out of prison. So they had to do these 3 days. We would give them bus passes, and my goal was to teach them how to write resumes, how to create, you know, cover letters, and teach them how to, you know, use a computer, because I was in a computer school. I was taking technology. And it's so funny, man. I met so many of the guys that knew me back in the day. They didn't even recognize me. They like, man, what? That's you. Because I'm in a suit and tie. And I'm standing in front of them. And it's a group of about 40 of them. And I'm telling them what they need to do. And you know how it is when you're like, man, I don't want to hear what this dude got to say. And then I took the tie off, and I would take my jacket off, and I would take my shirt off, and I'll start showing tats. And they like, wait a minute, who was this dude? I'm like, bro, I did 12 too. Then they listened. They said, wait a minute. He ain't just one of these guys trying to tell me what I need to do. This dude is actually doing it. Exactly. And man, so many, I run into them to this day. They be like, bro, you helped me out so much, man. And some of them didn't go the right route. Some of them didn't even make it through the 3 days, man, because drugs and all type of stuff.
We know how that go. It's a number game, but you know the ones you can almost know the ones that's gonna fight for that change, is gonna fight to better themselves.
They
You
stand
know the
out.
ones that ain't.
They
Because
stand
I
out.
mean, like you said, we've been in the joint. We moved around people. And we know who you know, so we can look at you and tell you like, oh yeah, you on some bullshit.
Right.
You got another bid in you from how you move.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
And I told him, I said, I ain't got no more in me, man.
I know.
Like people tell me that when that second case, why didn't you tell? I said, because I wasn't bred to. Snitching ain't never been part of me.
We
I
just
was
got to go down together.
I had to, yeah.
All right,
And that's what happened, man. But let me tell you this, Cordell. Let that shit happen today. I'm testifying. That's that cool shit. That's his. Ain't no, I'm not loyal to the hood like that no more. I'm not loyal to the game because I'm not in the game. So don't come at me with no, oh, this is part of the game, because I'm not playing that game no more.
No, I'm not
so
no
you
criminal.
get in my vehicle and you riding dirty with me and you got something on you, I wish you would drop it in, because I'm saying check the fingerprints. I'm going to take a lie detector test and I will testify, because I'm not going to prison for nobody. None. That's over for me, bro.
Straight up. And that's when I came out when I got out the last time, that's the same thing I'm on. I'm man, look. Period.
Don't bring it to me. And if you got real friends,
but people don't. But it goes back to you saying the selfish part. But people got to really understand, like, if you trying to really make that change and you coming out, you have to be that selfish.
Yes.
Like when I got out, my oldest son, he's in prison now. But when he got out, you know what I'm saying, he running with the younger portion of the gang and he's doing his thing. Now I'm just telling, like, man, I can't get no quarrel. I'm not riding with you, and you not riding with me. Because if something comes, if you in the car with me and you messed up, I'm probably gonna almost kill you, man.
Right. Damn right.
Son or not, because I'm not going back to the joint.
No.
Period. That's just what it is.
Bro.
I ain't putting myself in no positions to even come up. If anything that I do coming out now, I had that mentality that if I do this, could it get me locked up? If the answer was yeah, I didn't engage in it. Even if that meant if your son get in your car, is it a possibility that you can get pulled over and he be dirty and then y'all both get locked up? Yeah. Oh, you can't get in my car.
Don't get in my car.
Son or not. If I'm gonna have to pat you down. I'm gonna have to treat you like we in the joint.
Hell yeah. Hey, I was the same way, bro, and still am. Like, but now I've matured so much to where, bro, like, I don't talk to pretty much anybody that from back in the day, even the ones I grew up and threw up with. Like, they if you still on bullshit, we ain't got nothing to rap about, bro. I don't care what our history is. That's a chapter that's closed. Now, if you trying to get yourself together and get yourself right, let's talk. But if you still trying to dibble and dabble in this game, bro, I'm good.
Oh no, you dibble and dabbling. We definitely ain't got nothing to talk about. Don't even.
And it's even my little brother, man. Like, I'm gonna put this story out there. I'm squared up. I ain't broke no laws other than speeding, but other than that, I ain't doing nothing.
Right, straight up.
And my little brother, same mother. And he got drug addiction problems. He hustling, doing what they do. I walk up to his house, man, and I'm kind of clean. And he looked me up and down. He said, "You look like a lick."
Oh no. Oh no.
What? This is my blood brother.
Your brother that.
Same mother. We grew up our whole lives together. He looked me up and down and said, "You look like a lick." And I thought about it. I said, now, if you think this, what the rest of these fools thinking?
Man.
Because I'm the six-figure guy, but I'm still feeling loyal to my family where I want to see my brother. And guess what? I ain't seen my brother for years. That's how selfish I was. That's how self-focused I was. I don't care if we blood brothers. If you on that, and you let me know you on that, bruh, I ain't got no rap for you, man.
Straight up. So it's gonna be some people that's getting out, they're gonna see this, or on the inside, they're gonna see this, they're gonna say, man, how did you make six figures while on parole?
Oh, bro. So here's how it happened. I started college. I got them straight A's, and I said, and it took me 2 years. I wasn't making 6 figures them first 2 years. I'm working 2 jobs, just barely getting by. And I said, well, I'm gonna do my bachelor's degree because I got straight A's. I want to keep it going because they say
Exactly.
if you get a bachelor's degree, you can make more money than associates. And me, man, I was a dope dealer, so I want money.
I want the money.
I don't want to, I ain't cool with just having a little bit. I like nice things. I'm gonna say it like that.
I want to live comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Right. That means I got to get money.
Thank you.
It means I got to do it the right way, but I still want. Ain't nothing wrong with having some money.
Right. So I still got a hustler's mentality, but now I have a different product. Mm-hmm. My product is corporate America. So now I got to figure out how to manipulate my way in. So again, I did the 2 years, and then I became a student worker at this same college. Now I'm in my 3rd year of college, and there was a job fair where they were doing mock interviews for people at the college. I'm in a student worker polo, dirty, I ain't dressed for no interview. And they were like, Ernest, why don't you go in there and do an interview? And I'm like, I don't know who these people are. They're like, just do it, you're good. And I was solid, bro. Like anything that I ever did, man, I wanted to be the best. I was the coldest at chess, dominoes, spades. I won tournaments.
Hey, man, cut it out, man. You should.
Hey, man, they hung my jersey in the rafters up in that joint, boy. Like I was cold, and they knew it. Everybody that know, like, oh man, that's such and such. He cold. I was that guy.
Hey, you weren't cold at Pinochle.
Man, Pinochle was my weakest thing, man. Yeah, I was good at big. I know how to play Pinochle, but I couldn't grasp it and I was on my way out. But chess, dominoes, spades. Bid, man, look, hooping. Oh man, they know about me. Some of them still in there remember me, and they probably watching this laughing like, I remember that big head joker. I had her back then, but we get a little older. But no, bro, this is what I did. So I'm in the college, so I do the interview and I kill it. And they're like, man, because I've been practicing. So everybody that's watching this, when you get in that mode, you got to practice your interviewing skills. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to get those counselors and all those student reps and people like that. Like, hey, I want to do an interview just to see how your interviewing skills go. And I was always good at talking. So now I'm just tightening things up and getting it together. So I killed the interview. They called me back for another interview on site. So I'm like, no, matter of fact, no, it was a phone interview.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, bet. But again, I'm on parole, so I'm thinking they ain't gonna give me no job. When they run my background, they ain't gonna get, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. So I did the interview. They said, we want you to come on site. So now I'm on my 3rd interview. I'm coming in with a suit. Bro, like when I say I got a suit on, man, I literally, and this is for you people that's so proud out there, I literally had to go to the Goodwill.
Straight up.
To find me a jacket because I didn't have money for a suit and tie. And I did, and I found one that fit me because that's how my guy worked. He like, man, I got you. I didn't want to go and ask my guy that's hustling, bro, I need a few hundred. Nope, I ain't doing that no more. So I did what I had to do, got me a little suit and went up in there, man, and killed that interview again. And here's what they did, and people that might want to go the tech route. They gave me a laptop and said, respond to this email. What they're doing is they want to see if you know how to type.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing this.
If you're doing that, right.
Because if you're doing that, you're too slow to be part of our team because we got to roll. Oh, yeah. Remember, I've been practicing this. So, man, I'm on it. They're like, damn. They gave me an offer, bro. I'm so annoyed because I'm on parole and I'm a 4-time felon. And I'm like, man, I want this job so bad. I typed out a letter to him telling him about my whole background. Right. And I just wrote it out. I said, this is what you're going to find when you run my background. And here's the story behind it. I sent it to the recruiter at the job. And I'm like, man, they ain't going to rock with me. And she said,
It's
She
over.
said, don't worry about that stuff from the 90s, because we only go back 7 years. And she said, in that drug case that you caught, it was like 5 years ago. She said, don't worry about that neither. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still paranoid though. I'm still thinking, man, they gonna, because they send you that paper to run the back. You got to submit to the background check. I did it. They hired me, bro, and they started me out at $17.36. Now, today that ain't no lot of money, but in 2009, when I got
he was killing the game.
2009, when I got that offer, bro, I mean, I'm crying like a baby. I'm like, oh man, they let me get because I told everybody, whatever company let me get my foot in the door, I'm kicking that bitch off the hinges. Excuse my language.
Nah, you good, straight up though.
And I did. So when they let me in, I'm still paranoid, thinking they're gonna fire me when they find out about me. You know, I'm annoyed, man, because I'm in a big corporate. I'm at the Savas Corporation, which is CenturyLink right now, billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
And I'm working in their help desk, the tier 1. Bro, the same way, I'm the first to come, last to leave. They paying triple pay for working the holidays. I'm working every Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. I'm in the office. And I mean, man, I'm getting these checks and I'm like, man, this is legal money. This is like hustlers' money to me. But this is legal. I got a check for this. Oh man, it just made me so much more hungrier to keep going. So now I'm on the team, just like with the cars, dominoes, all that. I'm like, who the coldest on this team? Because I'm finna get better than them. And I found out who was the go-to guy. And I'm like, oh, he the best? I introduced myself. Hey man, what makes you the best? And I learned everything that he had and put some more on it. Now, within 3 months, I'm running the team. Because I'm a standout guy like that. I've been like that in everything I do. A year go by, you got to stay in your job for a year at this company. You can't even apply for nothing, you know, until you do your first year. I do my first year. My manager, this is his exact words in my annual review. He said, Mr. Moss, he said, I remember that interview that we had when you first came. He said, and I thought if this guy is anything as good as he say he is, he's going to be a good one. And then he said, man, you surpassed everything I ever thought you would do. I was like,
that's a good compliment.
They gave me, so I'm making $36,000 a year. That's what 1736 is. They bumped me to 46, gave me a $10,000 raise after a year. I'm like, what?
I'm in there. I'm in there.
Man, but check this out. Here's the crazy part. Right after that, there was a project that you had to volunteer to be a part of. Man, I'm part of the champion team. I'm volunteering for everything they got. I volunteered for this project and met this lady who lived in the UK, over in Europe. And so we would have to get up real early to be on calls and stuff. And I volunteered to do it because, again, I'm going to do more than everybody on the team. And I did. This lady came in town and she asked for me. And I'm sitting up here still paranoid. I'm still on parole. This is 2010. I ain't get off till 2014. Right. I'm like, man, why she wanna talk to me? You know, like, leave me alone. I'm good.
Yeah, straight up.
You know, hey, so we had lunch together and she said, you know, I just wanted to tell you, you know, I like the work that you did with this project and how, you know, because I ain't never been a timid type dude. And I don't care what your title is, high or low, I'm gonna treat you as a man. And that's how I'm gonna talk to you. So I don't cower to nobody. And she liked that about me. She's like, yeah, I like your pizzazz. And, you know, that's what they call in corporate America, pizzazz. Yeah. You know, and everywhere else they call it aggression. But, you know, I was real smooth with it, man. And there was a new position, never been a part of this company, called a release manager. And another manager reached out to me and said, you need to apply for this job. And I'm like, I don't even know what a release manager is. Look, she said, I didn't ask you that. I said, you need to apply for this job. I said, all right. I applied for it. Went through the interview process. We get to the final interview. It's me and one other guy. It's down to 2 people. We go to this final interview. Guess who in the interview? The lady from the UK.
Oh, man.
She already had the job created for me, bro.
For you. Right.
I got that job. They gave me 10 more thousand. I'm at 56. I only been in here about 14 months in my job. And I went from 36 to 56.
Right.
So I did that job for a year, went to another spot. So the company got bought out. So I'm making right around 60, 50 something. Company got bought out by another company. They start changing all the rules. You know, that's how it is with corporate mergers.
Oh, yeah.
And I updated my resume. I hadn't looked for a job since I started at this company, bro. I wasn't worried. I love this company, and I still to this day, it's my favorite job I ever had. When they started changing things, I'm 3 years in now. They started changing things. I'm like, let me go on and update my resume and see what's out there. I update my resume. The headhunters hit me. Pop, 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 pop. I'm like, damn, they blowing me up. Like, I didn't think I was that good. Because again, I'm still on parole.
Yeah.
So this is like 2012. They gave me, I did a couple of interviews. They gave me an offer for $95,000.
Let me get that.
So this is at Express Scripts.
That's almost double than where I'm at.
Hey, this is at Express Scripts. And if you know what Express Scripts is, it's a big company headquartered in St. Louis, and they deal with prescription drugs. Bro, I just caught a dope case.
Yeah.
How the hell did I get that job?
Yeah, you probably think I know I ain't finna pass the background on this when they put that.
Right.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. But this is how God works. If you be true to your craft and what you do and your purpose and your vision, doors gonna open that you'll never think would be open. Man, look, I told my manager, I said, hey, I got this offer, bro. I'm putting in my 2-week notice. He said, man, you better. He said, man, that's almost double what you making right now. So I jumped there and I did a few more jumps, man. My peak was at 165,000 in corporate. Okay. Like when I'm telling people I'm getting paid $70 an hour, they like, ain't no way you getting paid that. And when I say I'm getting paid that to work from home. All I'm doing is working on a laptop. And I'm getting paid $70 an hour salary. Bro.
Right.
Like I'm still in college. I got my master's degree from Lindenwood in let me see, I think it was 2012, 2013. I'm still on parole.
Oh, man.
I didn't get off till 2014. They didn't let me off one day early for good time. No violations, no nothing. I paid my little $30 a month. I did everything right. They didn't let me off one day early.
Yeah, they ain't gonna let you off. But I just they ain't gonna they refuse to let you off. Yeah, you got to, they want it all. They want,
and you know why?
They hope you slip up.
But here's the thing: they were letting people off. They wasn't doing half of what I was doing, bro. And a parole officer told me this in my exit interview. He said, man, they need inmates like you to get the numbers up. They need guys successful like you to still be on parole so they can show that parole is working. That was told to me by a parole officer.
Oh, that's crazy.
But I ain't care because I wasn't doing nothing wrong anyway. I pay your little $30, $35 a month and you want me to drop? I ain't smoking no weed. I ain't doing nothing. I'll drop any day you want. You what?
Right.
You think I'm gonna smoke some weed and jeopardize $100,000 a year for some damn weed? Come on, bro. Anybody out there that's saying I need to smoke, I need to do this, then you don't really want it.
No, you don't really want it. You don't really want it at all. So where did the transition come from? How did you transition from the corporate to start building what's the Formula Mentoring Academy?
Bro, I got bored, man, with corporate America, to be honest with you. I didn't have the thrill anymore. And it was like I was peaking and I'm still in these meetings all day. And then I got bored, and then different things started happening in my life to where I was thinking about, I want to start my own business. What do I need to do to start my own? Because I ain't never studied business ever.
Okay.
All I studied was corporate America and IT. And I'm like, now I'm hanging around with other business people, bro. I mean, traveling out of the country, Punta Cana, Mexico, the Bahamas. Man, I'm a convict. My whole life, if we got a trip to Finger Lakes. That was a trip for us. We ain't never seen no ocean or nothing like that till I was in my 30s. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. And I'm like, man, what is the next chapter of my life? And during the time my mom was sick, so I started buying a couple houses and doing a little real estate. And I'm owning my first house and my second house because I'm making this money, and I done bought enough toys. I got a Jag, a Bonding Plaza. I got everything you could think of, when it comes to bull crap. And now it's like, it gets old, and it's like, what do I do next, man? I'm taking all these trips. I flew in a private jet from St. Louis to New Jersey, and like, man, I'm checking off all the boxes. And now I'm like, I don't have any more goals. What are my goals? So I did a reset, and during the time, man, my mom passed from cancer. And again, she was a mom of 4 boys, and she was a hood mom that would take in anybody that was a young man. And so we had fake play cousins and brothers our whole life, because my mom wouldn't turn them down. And as she was leaving, she got a bunch of grandchildren that are young men. She said, take care of my boys. And I don't know if what she was thinking was this, but my brain got to thinking, and I said, if I had somebody when I was 18 and went to prison, if I had a man who was there to show me, man, you can do other things, maybe I wouldn't have went the route I went. But all I knew, because remember, this is the 90s, all of the older guys got turned out on crack.
Sure did.
So everybody I used to look up to are dope fiends now. They begging for a $10 rock. And so how I'm going to get advice from you other than how not to be? Nobody's telling me what I should do, so I'm just hustling. And then I went my route. So I said, how can I take my story and help young people? And that's when I thought, like, most people will see this and be like, what the? But then I said, man, what's the formula? And the formula is about success. So I'm teaching to my young people, and not just young, because I mentor people older than me. What's the formula of being successful? Because what Cordell sees as success is different than what I see as success. But the two things can be true. It ain't one or the other. It's what do you see as successful? And then we create a formula to help you achieve that. But first, the greatest gift, and if anybody's listening to this that's wondering, I don't know what to do, here's what I'm going to tell you. What do you look like winning? What do you look like winning? Use your imagination. This is your God power. You can literally take nothing and turn it into something simply by a thought. So use your imagination. And the root word to imagination is an image. You're that image in that imagination, because everything on this earth was imagined first. You tell me something that wasn't.
No, everything that you see, everything was
from a
thought. Was a thought and an image from anything that got life in it, which was a thought of the Most High.
Yes,
the image of the Most High. And then from that point on, anything that we as endeavors, that's one of our biggest things that we get. One of our biggest assets, one of our biggest likeness of the Creator is the ability to create, the ability to imagine, and the ability to create. And so once, like you said, once you tap into that,
man, that's your God power. And guess what? He said it in Genesis. He said, you were made in his image and after his likeness. Everybody uses that verse, but they forget the image and the imagination. They disconnect the two. Because if you can imagine it, your likeness is that you can create it. Because if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. But you got to see it, because if all you see is bullshit, all you see is struggle, all you see is the world is coming to an end. If that's what you see, that's what you get. What I challenge everybody to do is to imagine yourself winning, because we rarely do that. We imagine the struggle. We imagine baby mama tripping. We imagine the police pulling us over. That's what we imagining, and we wondering why it's happening. You bringing that to life. And what I challenge, again, I like to say challenge, because if you take the first three and the last three of challenge, it spells change. I'll wait.
That's right.
It spells change. You got to change your thoughts and just use your imagination, man, and see if money wasn't no problem, education, being prison, if that wasn't even the issue, what do you look like doing what you would love to do and winning at it? And that's hard for a lot of people to even imagine. But I tell you, you have the ability to imagine this. Cordell, you imagine yourself doing some great things, and you doing them right now. But it started with the thought. Then nobody handed you nothing. You had to start up here.
It always starts with the thought. I imagine stuff every day that I'm gonna manifest. I imagine it, I write it down and start putting the steps together. And
that's the formula.
Yeah.
That's what you just said was the formula, bro. But before you can even get a formula, you got to have the image. You got to have the thought.
You got to have the,
you got to have it here.
That's why I always preach, you know what I'm saying, in my classes and stuff like that. That's one of the first things we do in my classes on the inside is I need to know what your vision is. If you can have it your way, everything was together, what's your vision? Now I brought this these cardboard cutouts and these magazines. Now I need you to put it on this cardboard. I need you to wake up every day and see it.
I love it.
From this point on, we're gonna start putting the steps together, right? The goals that you need to do. So when you walk out of here, you are already in the process of
you building them a formula, bro, to success. That's what you're doing with your program, man. I can't wait to speak to some of your students. I'm I'm
gonna bring you in, man. I'm gonna have to get you on in there, so you can.
Appreciate it, bro.
You know, so I always ask everybody to come on my podcast this question. It's always my last question before we head out, because that's what, to me, it's what it's all about, right? The journey. You know, from where we started to what the amazing things that we're doing now. If you had one word that would describe that journey, what would that one word be, and why?
Resiliency.
Why resiliency?
Because the thing with resiliency is that you're gonna go through something. Like the great Les Brown said, he said you're gonna fail your way to success. See, a lot of us that get out, soon as we run into some turmoil and some tragedy, we like, man, fuck it.
Straight up.
Like we like, man, I'm finna hit there. I need some weed to get my head right. I need to throw it back. And we just, soon as we run into any type of issue, and I'm saying be resilient, that no matter what, here's a quick story. I know we wrapping up and I'm getting over a cold, but the dean of the school, when I tried to apply to be a student worker and they ran my background, they was like, man, you can't be no student worker because your background's messed up. And he told me, he said, and I like you, Ernest, but you probably need to change your major because it's going to be hard for you to get a job. And I told that man this, and he passed from cancer too. So I don't know why this cancer, but he passed. And I told him this, I said, God got his hands on me. I cannot fail. And he's like, well, I cannot fail. See, Thomas Edison, they say he failed 10,000 times to create the light bulb. But what Thomas Edison's retort to that was, he said, I never failed. I just found 10,000 ways not to do it right.
Exactly.
But he never gave up. So as long as you don't give up and you stay resilient, you're going to achieve whatever you can imagine. But remember, it starts here. So when you catch yourself imagining bull crap and things going bad, you are creating that. And what I say is check that and say, no, I don't care if your bank account in the negative. When you lay down in bed at night, I want you to think about you balling. And when you become resilient and you go through those few little things and maintain your faith, man, things are just going to open up to you like they did for me, like they did for you, and millions of other people, because it ain't just us. It's a lot of people out here that have overcome this reentry thing, and they're doing well. But they had to be resilient because life is going to life. It's going to hit you, and you got to be prepared for it.
Straight up. And you hit it dead on the head. Speaking of millions, but not millions, but billions, you know, what's behind you wanting to impact and touch a billion people? What's that motivation? What's that drive that wants you to make that impact of a
Bro,
billion people?
I live by this phrase, and everybody that knows me know mediocrity is a sin to me. I have a great guy. I got a bold, strong, like, and he told me, show out. He said, you need to show my strength right here on earth, because just like everybody else that's been in all the books, all the great ones started out rough. They started out going through it, just like I did. And now my story is going to impact over 1 billion people. That's my goal, because I set my bar high. See, a lot of people, they don't achieve their levels of success because their goals are too small and they achieve them. See, people achieve things by setting little bitty goals, and you're like, yeah, I'm good. You know, I got this right here. I got this. And they're good, and they never maximize their talents, and they never impact that many. So I set my goals through the moon, through the roof. So I sat back and I thought, man, it's a lot of people like Tony Robbins, Les Browns, Miles Monroe impacted millions of people. And I said, with this technology and my voice, I can reach over 1 billion. Because right now I got people in Australia and Africa hitting up my website, looking at my podcast. So we branching out and becoming global, because it's bigger than St. Louis. It's bigger than Missouri, Illinois. It's bigger than the United States. So I want a Billy.
Straight up. Yeah, Billy. 1 billion. So for those who's gonna be tuning in on the podcast, you know, correctional educators, wardens, all them type of people look at this podcast and they want to get a hold of you. Say, man, we got to get this guy in to speak. How do they find? How do people contact you? Give me your information so they can reach out to you.
Appreciate that, bro. And I'm ready to serve. I'm a servant leader. So I'm ready to serve. I don't care if it's one person in the room or it's 1,000. I've been on stages and I love it. I love it. I love it. And you can find me at WTFMA.com. That's WTFMA.com. Hit the contact tab. I got a Calendly link out there. Hit that link. We can talk. But WTFMA.com. That's what's the Formula Mentoring Academy.com, man. And hey, I got free books out there for anyone that comes to the website. I have 3 books, as you mentioned, but the one that started this business is called Adulting. Adulting, WTF, what's the formula? And we teach you 5 steps to teach your young people how to start adulting, because there's a crisis going on, bro. And I know I'm going, but there's a crisis going on where these teenagers are committing suicide, and they don't know what to do with their lives because we haven't taught them how to adult, because our generation have been protective so much that they feel entitled. And guess what? I want them to feel entitled, but they still need a formula to adulting to get them prepared for what life gonna throw at them after school or after college or as they're young. So that book is a free download for anyone that goes out there. You can download the ebook and get your stuff together with these young folks. And it's some 40, 50-year-olds need to learn how to adult.
Straight up, yeah. Not
Hey,
just young, yeah. Not just
right, like
young,
my
like you
mama would
said.
tell me, bro.
You see
My
it.
mama would tell
You
me,
see it
she
on
said,
social media all the time. You're like,
yeah.
man, you too old to be acting like that.
Listen, my mom would tell me, she said, boy, you ain't grown, you just through growing. Some of us ain't grown. We ain't acting grown. We just through growing.
They just through growing, exactly, no doubt.
And I'm on all the social medias, bro, like IG, YouTube. You'll see this big old egg. Yeah, they say he look like Fat Joe. I say, hey, Fat Joe wish he looked this good. But we here to serve the people, man. And we serve them at churches, at
I ain't
mosques.
gonna lie. When I first said, damn, my man look just like Fat Joe. Boy, they gonna think I got Fat Joe on the podcast.
Hey, you should see me in Miami. Hey. They really go crazy.
Oh, yeah, they was going crazy. It don't matter. Yeah. I was in the joint, like a lot of people that don't know this about my story, but I wasn't born with alopecia. I used to have hair and everything down to my shoulder and everything, braids. That's how I came into the joint, braids. Yeah. This is how I knew that stress attacks the body differently in different people. Some people get cancer, or some, like you just said, that them thoughts and stuff like that. So when I first got to prison, went through the walls, and I ended up going through Mobley and Licking. While I was in Licking, it was just a stressful moment because we was always locked down because it was a new prison and they put all these level 5s in there and thought they could run it like the level 2 and 3 because they opened it up and had it at 2 and 3 to teach the guards how to run the prison. But what they didn't know is you can't run them at level 5 like you ran at 2 and 3. So when you brought everybody in, it was stabbings, everything for left and right. So we probably was on lockdown. That the first year and a half I got there, we probably was locked down out of what, 18 months, we probably was on lockdown 16 and a half months. So yeah, so I was stressing. The next thing you know, hair started falling out and everything like that. And that's how I got alopecia. But they used to call me the guy in the NBA, Charlie Dillon the waiver.
I can see that.
I used to walk on the yard and like Dillon the waiver. And it's crazy because and this was in like 05, 06. Now I was just doing a tour in 2023 down in Florida. And when I was speaking to the guys in Florida, and I was just, so we go through, we talk to them doing a workshop. And when I went to some guys sitting over in the back, I went to holler at them. I'm like, boy, you know who you look like? I'm like, let me guess, Dillon the waiver. He said, yeah, Charlie Dillon the waiver. I said, you've been locked up for a minute, ain't you? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, because when I was doing time in 07 and 05 and 06, when my hair and stuff started falling out, that was my name on the yard. Dillon the waiver.
I sure see it. They used to call me Busy Bone, man, Crazy Bone, because I had long braids.
Oh, yeah.
I used to hold them like this, like Booyah Tribe or something when I was in the joint. And you talking about that stress. I was part of them inmates that went to Texas.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they put the dogs on you. I had
put them on. Hey, we was on CNN, bro.
Got took down there.
Yep.
And I think a couple of them got a check.
We did get it. I got a check too.
Got a check. Yeah, I got a check. My boyfriend got sit down there too. He got the dogs is on him.
Yeah, man, I was there. I'm on that tape. If you look at that tape again on CNN,
I remember the video.
You'll see me like this crawling on the ground with the rest of them.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna have to find that joint. I'm gonna have to put that on the
hey,
get on the podcast.
We was famous then.
He went from the dog chewing his ass to the making 6 figures. No, but yeah,
hey, man, I appreciate you, bro, for sure.
I was in the county jail when they was doing that. I was in the county jail about 97, around like 97, 98 when that happened. I was in the county jail.
Well, we can't. I went down there in 95 because I went there straight from Fulton.
Okay.
In 95, and I was down there for 2 years, so it happened in 97. That's when they rolled us all back.
97. I remember because we was in the county. And they was sending my people and them was sending in letters. Like, damn, man, we down here in Texas, the dogs.
Man,
we seen it on the news. I said, no.
Hey, I got a story on how that hit the news. Because here's what we did. I know we over, but bro, we can edit anything we want. But here's what happened. And we filed a lawsuit against them.
Yeah.
After they did that, and the Texas courts threw it out. because then we ain't have no evidence. So the captain wife was abusing her so bad that she would go to the authorities, but he the captain, he the head guy. So they ain't listening to her, and she kept trying to, get out of this abusive relationship, and dude almost killing her by beating her. They had a videotape of us on the ground. They videotaped all that.
Yeah.
She took that tape and went to the feds.
Oh, okay.
Because they threw out our lawsuit.
I remember the tape clearly. Everybody was on the ground, the dogs on them. I remember crawling through I remember the whole I remember the tape vividly to this day.
That's the only way that tape got out, is because that lady, and I hope that she's doing great if she's still living, but that lady took that tape, because they used to use that tape and laugh about it and show us that they was watching us on the screen, and they'll let us see them. They all laughing, because these were some real billies, man. These were some redneck billies, big old cowboy hats, and look, it was hardcore. Like it ain't like Missouri or nothing. No, this was rough. They didn't even give you 3 hots in a cot. You got 2 hots in a cot. Man, it was hardcore. But that lady, man, she took that tape and went to the federal authorities, and that's how it hit CNN. But we had already did this is how bad the courts are for guys that are incarcerated, because we had filed a case and they threw it out for lack of evidence. And then the evidence was that tape. And I'm so glad she did that, bro.
Man,
they was corrupt real bad. And I'm gonna say this: not all.
Talking about 97. It wasn't no cell phones or nothing like that.
Man, right. That's what I'm saying. It was a VCR tape.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm dating myself now,
man. Yeah. I remember that though, because that was I was in the county when that was going on. We used to get the letters, man, they got us down there in Texas. Man,
that's God.
I said, dang. Now, I remember
the only way that could have happened is God let that happen.
And my
God
cousin got a check.
that.
I said, yeah, they did. They got a check from that.
And they got us up out of there.
Yeah, they got y'all up out of there quick soon as they hit CNN.
Man, we couldn't wait to get up out of there.
Wasn't supposed to be down there in the first place. How you transferring Missouri inmates all the way to Texas? You know, skipped over 4 or 5 different states.
But it was overpopulated in Missouri, and they had us sleeping in tents.
Oh,
in Fulton. Remember, Fulton Yard had tents.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. When you went to Fulton, it was all them white tents.
Yep. And it was so overpopulated. And you know what started that was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Because Bill Clinton came out with the 3 strikes you out, came out with the 85% law. He cut out welfare. Bill Clinton made things rough in the early 90s.
And back
flooded
then,
the prisons.
Back then, this time, Missouri Fulton was the only diagnostic center.
It was.
And when you put up the Fulton, you might pull up in there with 500 or 600 inmates on a Tuesday or Thursday.
Man, look.
In that little bitty old room.
With a hose spraying you down.
Yeah, spraying you down. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, man, we telling our age.
Right. Some of them up in there like, man, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, that's back in the day. You talking about almost 30 years ago.
Man, you talking about you hit the yard, you got the phone, you pull them buses, put on full, and you was going to be there processing all day.
Yes.
There's so many people. No doubt. So I appreciate you coming on, sharing your journey.
Man,
I appreciate the knowledge that you gave as well, man. Glad we finally got to connect. Glad we reached out to each other. With us being close by, 4 or 5 hours away, that ain't nothing.
We gotta link up, bro.
Yeah, we gotta link up.
The next time we get on the podcast, we're gonna be sitting in the same room.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we definitely gonna make that happen. Straight up.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. For those of you tuning in, I just want to say, you know what I always say to you guys behind the wall? My number one thing, I hear it over and over, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over. Don't let the limitations of your background reduce the height of your potential. Get you a vision and start doing the steps. That's why I came out and named my company Visionary Hustler. Manifest your vision to be the boss of your mission. It's all about it. Coach E said it from the beginning. He said it. It's the thought. It's the image. It's to be able to take that image, man, and make great things happen. You're looking at 2 people off of vision, off of image, off of imagination. and man, doing some amazing things. So again, manifest your vision and be the boss of your mission. This is another episode of the Reentry Journey. I'm Cardell Sims. This is Coach E. Make sure y'all tap in with the WTF Academy. It's not what the it's what's the formula.
What's
And
the
he gave
formula?
you the formula. He gave you the formula. So make sure you all tap in. This is another episode of the Reentry Journey, and we're out.
Hey.
What would be one word to describe this journey?
Heartache.
Enriching.
Gratitude.
Unapologeticness.
Hope.
Elevating. Passion.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Determination.
Intention.
My word is compassion.
Rebirth.
Intentional.
It's bigger than just walking down your probation and parole. It's changing your mindset, lifestyle, and never returning to prison again. It's the reentry journey with Cardell Sims.